Stay a while and listen.
Alright, so you'll notice a difference in audio quality from this to the rest of the show. This is being done on Sunday morning, the day after the leap year day. We are going to talk about the results from Revolution, because it seems ridiculous to wait an entire week to talk about a Dynamite and a Revolution. So that's why this show is a day behind.
Yep.
And I am Ross, still, joined with Saul. So
Joined
we're just going to...
with Saul.
In March, I am going to be using the All Elite Wrestling results page. If anyone is, for some reason, wants to follow along, well, that's where we're pulling it from. So, also in the show, whether I put it before or after, we might just put this in the beginning, because I imagine that's what people are going to be looking for. We have a little bit of our predictions for the show, and we'll kind of touch on those, but to see if we were correct. I was correct on one thing, mostly, and I feel very proud of that, but we'll get to that. So, obviously spoilers are going to be ahead, so skip pretty far forward if not.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so also if you've checked out the All Elite Wrestling webpage, you're going to see a picture of the new champion. So there you go. But we're going to go with what would have been the buy-in, where we had Dark Order against SCU. SCU decided that Christopher Daniels should not come to the ringside with them because they don't trust him.
Yep.
Now he knows how Sting felt when no one believed him, except it's not nearly as big a deal.
No, it's not.
I mean, I don't know what anyone would have been expecting out of this match other than what you got, where it's just a tag team match. Dark Order goes over and wins. And then, really, the end part was they're beating everybody up. Colt Cabana, who I was reading apparently signed with AEW, he's free to do other stuff. But as far as, like, commentary, wrestle, he's part of All Elite Wrestling now, which is probably good for them. Immediately saw someone be like, well, I guess that means CM Punk is never coming there. Since they,
because I guess they don't really like each other or something, right?
Yeah, they are not friends anymore, supposedly, according to the internet. Who really knows, but either way. But yeah, so he comes out, he gets beat up too.
And really, this is the only spot that having him come out would have made sense, because...
Yeah, there'd be no reason for him to be involved in anything else. And even this kind of, whatever. I'm sure there's a history with him and some of those guys, but then they had... So Dark Order, they hold up off the attack, and then somebody in a cloak comes out. And it was real weird, because if they knew the Exalted One was supposed to show up, they wouldn't have been surprised that someone was, there was a weird, it didn't make sense to me a little bit, but the whole thing was for Christopher Daniels to reveal himself under the hood, but then beat them up and show that he's really not a bad guy.
Yeah.
So we can hopefully beat that. Hopefully means that they are very close to revealing the real Exalted One, and we don't have to deal with the pup named Scooby-Doo red herring thing. I don't know if you ever watched that cartoon growing up, where every episode Fred thought it was red, but it never was until it wasn't. But yeah, so then we get to the real show. We got kicked off with Dustin against Hager, which I thought would be a couple matches later in the card, but I believe our predictions were pretty much exactly the same, but with somewhat different reasons. But yeah, so Hager wins this. I don't know what else you would think. Weird stuff with Hager and his wife, for whatever reason. A little bit of sexual assault from Dustin when he forced himself. It looked like he was really just trying to smear the face paint on her, but it was still, at a glance, and because it's wrestling, it's was he kissing her? Because that was an old gold dust thing, but you can't do that. So
Sure.
I don't know. It just seemed weird to me. But I mean, she played it up well. It was funny because you could see her in the background fixing her makeup, which you pointed out to me.
Well, she obviously wanted to be a part of it for some reason, because why would she be at the rings? So,
Right? Yeah. She was clearly okay with it, and she played
yeah,
her bit part very well, I thought.
sure.
So yeah, but I mean, this whole thing seems like it was all to build up Hager. They did put, I think it was JR, where they were talking about, can you imagine how bad it must feel to just want revenge and you just have to tap out, or you get submitted, basically. And that was kind of a nice touch to it, to be like, oh, that would be devastating for you.
Sure.
And then we went to what was really, I thought this match.
So did you like the match?
Yeah, I mean, it was what I thought
it.
it would be. There was nothing fancy to it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, did you have anything further on it?
No, I just wanted to say if we liked it or not. And,
Yeah. No, I thought it was fine. I mean,
yeah.
it could have been a Dynamite match, like, whatever. I mean, if it wasn't Hager's debut, I don't think it's anything special at all. But,
Sure.
I mean, he's still okay as a wrestler. I do like the arm triangle as a submission, so that's good. So this match, I thought, but we both picked Hager. No surprise. I think anyone would probably have picked him. They had me a couple times where I was like, they really might have Hager lose. What is going on here? But then that did not really happen. This match I thought would open the card, just because it would be pretty crazy, which was Sammy and Darby. And this thing was ridiculous from the get-go.
Yes.
Which, I mean, because Darby did his crazy not middle rope, but like below the rope dive, and took out Sammy early on. We had the crazy 630 or whatever it was from the top to the outside through the table. And then, like a bunch of back and forth where Darby ends up hitting the coffin drop at the end. So
it was a good match.
I thought it was very entertaining. That's for sure. And
we both picked Darby to win, right?
Yeah, I don't think we thought, like, you had the thought you could see where Inner Circle would win all their matches, kind of thing. But we were expecting Darby to win there. But I was super entertained. The 630 was horrifying to watch. There was the one spot where Darby did the suicide dive to Sammy over the thing and kind of got caught up. He still made contact, but it wasn't as good. But they seemed to play off it pretty well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was entertained. It was worth the price of admission. All right, so we got this match.
Of things that was scary to watch.
Holy moly! The Bucks and Kenny and Hangman. This match was insane. Just from start to finish, it had some story to it. The scary moment was when they did like the alley oop German suplex. I don't know what you actually call that, but
I was like, is he getting ready to break his neck?
Right, but it looked like Matt realized it was going wrong, and he got his arms down to protect him, and it looked like Hangman realized and kind of gave like an extra shove on the legs to get him to rotate over more. But it was like, that was one of those cringe up, like, oh no, I'm about to watch paralysis happen or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the story they told with Hangman spitting on Nick's face or Matt's face and him going nuts. Kenny and Nick trying to rein the other two in here and there. Like the good story. Like the match was good though. Like I liked everything about it.
That match had to go for almost 60 minutes. It felt like it did at least.
Yeah, I didn't look for a timestamp on it. I'm trying to see. Yeah, it doesn't say. But yeah, there was everything. We had Kenny's shoulder was messed up and he couldn't hit the One Wing Angel, but Paige came in and hit it, which was cool, I guess.
It was pretty cool.
Had a few false finishes, like all that stuff, but Kenny and Paige end up winning. They teased. I was waiting for the Bucks to super kick somebody because they were doing the stand sideways thing. And Shawn Michaels taught me that if someone is standing sideways and you do a super kick, they're going to get super kicked. So I was just
Yep.
waiting for it the whole time. And
Yeah.
it didn't happen, but I think they were teasing that Page was going to buckshot lariat Kenny,
Yeah.
and then he didn't. So, and even the announcers kind of played into it, like, well, I thought I saw something, but maybe I didn't, like that kind of thing. So,
Yeah, because he had his crazy eyes on.
yes, but
Yeah.
crowd reaction for, and this goes back to Darby too. Darby's reaction was really good. Crowd was super into Page the whole time. Like,
Hmm.
Bucks, as you predicted, were definitely working bad guy in it, and I was
Yeah.
expecting it to continue after the match, but it did not. So,
Yeah. I didn't expect. I thought they would have won the belts. I was surprised.
yeah, well, I think we both thought that was going to happen to further uh, Kenny and Page, but yeah, that's not what we got. So,
Nope.
but yeah, so I assume that people are unanimously, for the most part, going to like this match. It wasn't quite as crazy move kick out heavy as some of the Bucks matches are,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of kickouts and stuff. But I don't think it was as crazy as like the Lucha Bros matches, for example. Next, poor Statlander and Nyla having to follow that
Yeah.
match.
Yeah. I mean, like you said last night, it would be tough for anybody to follow that match.
Right. Now, and I will give them credit in this match because, one, they had pointed out Statlander had the flu all week. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
real or, what it is. If it is, that sucks because that's going to take it out of you.
I think it is real because they pulled her from a match. She was supposed to do a bar wrestling thing or something
Okay.
on Thursday,
Yeah,
and
she
they
got
pulled her
pulled.
from it. So
Okay. So, now I will say by the end of this match, though, because the crowd was dead or exhausted, however you want to consider it, at the
yeah,
beginning of this match, and we it's like, man, this is going to be rough for them. But by the end, they actually got the crowd back pretty good.
they did.
So,
Yeah,
congratulations to them for that. We ended
yeah,
up with Nyla winning, and then throughout the match, it was a little bit sloppy here and there, but it did make it seem like that more authentic, where moves aren't always going to go perfect. So that was fine, and you could probably assume Statlander having the flu and being out of it's not going to be firing all cylinders.
yeah.
But I thought it was a fine match. Again, what are they going to do? Like, there's literally nothing they could do short of setting the ring on fire after what we had just witnessed.
Yeah.
So, but they were, I suppose, the palate cleanser kind of thing. But so we went from that one. Now we're getting MJF and Cody, with Cody and his. I like when we were doing the prediction stuff and talking about it. I did not think it was a real tattoo on his neck,
Yeah.
but it turns out it is a real tattoo on his neck.
Um, if I was part of his inner circle, so to speak,
Yes,
I probably would have said, "Buddy, that's not a neck tattoo. That's more of a arm or shoulder."
shoulder.
But hey,
I
whatever.
personally think like that. So for like my type of tattoos, like I have some on my arms. That feels like a shoulder tattoo. I mean, he can do whatever he wants. I don't really care. And it's not like I'm going to
Sure.
be like,
Yeah.
I'm not ever rooting for Cody again because of that tattoo. But it's
Yeah.
just weird. It's also that's like, to the best of my knowledge, his second tattoo. So he doesn't have other stuff, so it just sticks out even more. And it's pretty fresh, so your colors are going to be a little more vibrant early on.
It's true.
Uh, but
Well,
yeah,
like my one buddy says, "You do you, Cody. If that's what you
yeah.
like, you do you."
Right. Well, some people are beyond angry about it. Like online, it's
Why?
it's super weird. Like,
Other than it being the internet and just trolls
right.
or
Well, because we're like, man, I don't know that that's where I would have gone for with that, but all right, whatever. People are like, this is
yeah,
the dumbest thing. His wife is going to divorce him. No one is going to want to advertise on Dynamite now when they look at Cody. Like, what? Like, I feel like there's some overreactions. Now, granted, Brandy did come out in something, and she was like, "Yeah, I really don't like it." So, but
sure.
yeah, people. Anyway, like that's such a minor story, but I just think it's funny that people are like, sponsors are going to pull themselves from AEW. Like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think they care that much this day and age. But all right, so MJF in this match went pretty heavy on the spray tan for sure.
That's what everyone's saying online.
Yeah, like I noticed it as soon as he came out. I was like, man, his jawline. Now he did look like I don't know if he cut a little bit of weight going into it, or it was just the extra definition from the tan. But
yeah,
he looked pretty lean. So the match itself was pretty good back and forth. MJF at some point takes Cody's boot off. The thing I kept saying it. I was like, why doesn't one of the people on the outside of Cody's like 19-person entourage show up, grab the boot, and put it back on his foot? Like, I don't know. Because have you ever walked around your house trying to find a shoe when you have one of them and you're uneven?
It's annoying, yes.
Yeah, I can't imagine trying to wrestle like that. But, I mean, obviously they need to tell the story of MJF going for the toe.
Yeah. But like you said, I mean, he had Cody's entourage is about the size of DNW Wolfpack, so why couldn't he have had somebody give him,
Right, or they just didn't think about it. Which, to be fair, it'd be like, oh man, I don't know what to do here. I did like it. Once the match was over, the referee was just standing there with like Arn's play sheet, the boot, and something else. Like, what do I do with all this crap?
Yeah. It was a good match, though. I enjoyed it.
Because MJF got busted open off, I think it was the springboard kick when he was going on to the outside, and then where they were fighting with Wardlow, where basically Cody was outsmarted in a way because it bought time for him. Let's see here. There wasn't, like, I mean, it was a good back and forth match. It wasn't the most amazing, like it's not going to be like, watch this technical masterpiece or anything like that, but the story to the match is what we were there for anyway. And MJF ends up winning using the ring again. So they basically created an entire thing for that ring for him to have a foreign object at all times.
Yep.
So I guess he could have just used brass knucks, but it gives it a story to it, I suppose.
Well, that's why he needs to keep winning them. So, like 5 years down the road, he'll have like 5.
He's like the Mandarin. Look at all these. All my punches are devastating, left or right.
He's stuffing all 5 of them down his trunks.
Right, but yeah. So I think we both figured MJF would win here, and he did. So again, we were both on the same page for that. Because again, like I don't know what Cody would have gained from winning the match. As far as it would have hurt MJF more if you're looking at it that way. But good match. I was entertained. The Cody walking away, I think he kept mouthing, "I'm sorry." Which also someone was like, did you catch where he kept saying he was so sorry about the tattoo? People were like, I think he was sorry that he lost the match. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it was the tattoo. Like, jeez.
So people were just tunnel vision on
oh, yeah, that's all they could. They were like, where I was reading, people were just laying into it. It's amazing. I assume some people are being dramatic on purpose, but I never know because it's the internet. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
So we got Pac coming up next against Orange Cassidy, which Orange Cassidy, people like him. I think it's safe to say that everyone in that building.
My only complaint about this match, and it's really, really minor, is that Orange Cassidy does not have his own music. Why he came out with the Best Friend song kind of bugged me a little bit.
Yeah. He'll get his own, I'm sure. I mean, the match was, if you've seen an Orange Cassidy match, it was similar to the other Orange Cassidy matches, but they played up a little bit of the mind game to it, and where they had like Pac thinking it was a joke, basically, so he wasn't taking him serious, which you kind of figured it could definitely go that way, but that seems to be what they were going for with it. For sure.
Yeah, I liked how Pac there did the kicks right back. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, no, I was amused by that one where he's just like, "What are you doing?" Like, and the fact that he was taking him so unserious, he could actually have a little bit of fun with it.
Sure.
So that was pretty good. But yeah, I think people saw, if they didn't know, once Orange starts actually doing stuff, he's really good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it is funny that, well, when I was wrestling normal, no one cared. Now that I don't do anything, I'm the most over I've been in my life.
Yes.
With awesome
But
shirts.
it was a good match. So Pac wins
Yeah.
that, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and I think we both agreed on that one too. But
Yeah.
what were like weird for the Lucha Bros to come out. I mean, they've sort of had a feud with Trent and Chuck, but
Yeah.
I think it was just to throw like something in there.
Yeah.
So.
That part was kind of weird. I'm like, okay. I mean, I like the Lucha Bros, but it didn't really didn't really make sense why they came out. But hey,
Right.
whatever.
I did like where JR was. I'm trying to think of the way I want to put this. I could have seen him being like, well, this just doesn't make any sense to me. But he kind of, it felt like he played in a little bit of he accepted it as a form of mind games at times. But I remember at one point, I forget exactly what they were doing, but it was like, I think you made the comment, you're like, somewhere Jim Cornette is losing his mind right now.
just smashing the keyboard.
Right. And I think it might have been when they were doing the kick exchange, like the leg kicks, like because Pac was going along with it. But either way, like good first match for Orange in AEW for people to see what it is. So, but yeah, he definitely was more serious. And then they worked into him rolling away from the top rope spot.
Yeah.
Which does make sense. Like that's a legitimate counter. So. But all right, so that was our final palate cleanser, and then we got to the world title match. So we got Proud and Powerful are out for the whole match. What's his face? Jericho had like the choir version of Judas to begin with, which I thought was pretty good. Yeah.
Yep.
I would like to see like an official version with that little choir. Mixing in with it, like I'd pay $1.29 or whatever for that. But Moxley had what?
Well, give him an idea because he might actually do it.
There's no way that I'm someone who has. If that hasn't been suggested at this point, I would be beyond shocked. Moxley had his interest. It looks like he had a shirt that just said unscripted on it, which is a more reasonable shirt that I might one day buy. But it didn't have his face on it or a whole bunch of other garbage. Like his shirts are terrible to me. Very Halloween themed though. If you need something for fall with the black and the orange. But yeah, so I mean, I guess it's just a brawl to begin with, and then Jericho throws him into the ring post, and he just eats it. With
yes.
Did you see the picture of the Moxley who lived?
No.
Scar. He did like a media scrum, and they were zooming in on it. But it's a pretty nasty looking thing. It looks like he really did just eat the post and just got busted open some, which is why it had like that weird style of bleeding where it was like sometimes and not others. Because at one point, like you could see him actually flicking it, like before he took the eye patch off.
Yeah.
But yeah, this went back and forth. I mean, Jericho beat him up for a while. Proud and Powerful got involved. Like Aubrey threw out everybody, and Ortiz bumped for the throw out on the ring apron. Yeah,
she threw people out baseball style.
Because like Haggard came out is what led to that. But yeah, so Jericho goes for the good eye, but this was where my prediction is Moxley removed the eye patch, revealing that he could see out of that eye just fine. Although I predicted that it would happen much sooner in the match.
Yeah.
And then when he came out...
But the way they explained it was Jericho was too cocky because he thought Moxley was blinded. And so
caught him by surprise.
I liked how they told that story about it.
Right.
Like, haha.
Yeah, it definitely worked. I thought they would do it earlier in the match, though, and like kind of throw him off. Because when he came out with just the single thing eye patch, I was like, oh, it's totally going to happen. And then it didn't.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, why would he go back to wearing that one? Like I couldn't figure it out, but yeah. So he hits the regular uh, DDT, then he hits the Paradigm Death Rider Driver version on Jericho and gets the pin. He had like the super crazy roll up where you get everything rolled all the way back on it. And I made the comment after that. I was like, I was waiting for the referee to get pulled out of the ring or something like that. I'm not used to what's your good guy is running through
finish.
everything that he needs to, and then just actually winning on an attempt.
Yeah, WWE has you trained.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was just waiting for something screwy, and it was kind of nice to not have that. But we'll see, because he got some microphone time after it and seemed pretty jazzed about the whole thing. He has his own special shirt, the I Was There shirt, that you can now order on AEW Shop, or Shop AEW, whatever they call it.
The thing about this pay-per-view that I didn't think I want, but now I want it at every pay-per-view now is the bracelets.
Yeah, that was crazy. I still haven't seen anyone talking about those very much. But
that's why we need to tag it.
Yeah, but everybody had, like, I assume it was like an LED bracelet that had a few different colors on it, and I assume they were synced up based on seat rows or something. Like, they were probably on people's seats or something, and they had, like, different patterns that they could do, different colors, like, that would kind of go along with the music in some cases. Because it seemed like for Hangman, you had, like, a lot of yellow, and it was matching up to the rhythm of his music.
Which I'm surprised that more people don't actually use it. Like, can you imagine that at the Super Bowl? I mean, you could do a lot of crazy stuff with that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's weird. I kind of wonder if it's like an expensive thing. Like,
sure.
I don't know.
It might be really expensive, and that's why maybe a lot of people don't do it.
Right. Well, I need one of, like, the WWE 24s for stuff. I need that on those bracelets as to the story behind them, because I've never seen an event have those.
We need to tag those guys when we release this and say, "Hey, that bracelet's a great idea. Bring it more.
We also want more information on it. Tell us about it, because I don't know. I'm sure there's like concerts that do it. There's got to be, like, but I don't know for sure. But so overall, but yeah, I think you thought Jericho, or did you take Moxley, or were you thinking Jericho on this one?
I think I picked Moxley, but I said I could see either because I thought Cody was going to win back in the day, and he didn't.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I was happy either way, but I'm interested to see where they'll go with this. But yeah, so overall, did you enjoyed the show?
I enjoyed the show.
Yeah. I thought it was excellent. It was nice having a pay-per-view that was built up for a while, and everyone on the card hasn't actually had a singles match against each other for the last 3 weeks leading into it.
It's true. Yeah.
So that was nice. But yeah, I liked it. But you were saying people online were being pretty critical?
Well, I mean, it either has to be people that are insanely loyal to WWE or just trolls. Yeah,
because they were saying the Super Showdown was a better show than this.
Yes.
I just can't imagine an objective world. Now, over the years, there have been many pay-per-views that I've seen that have been better than this one. There's been NXT, like NXT takeovers are typically fantastic. But I thought this one, like, all the matches had a nice story. They had plenty of time for everybody. Like, it was good.
I would tell those people that said that, I'm like, I probably could find some Vince Russo WCW wrestling pay-per-views that was better than Showdown, probably.
Yeah, Showdown. It's a long trip for that. Did you see the little bit of the bubbly Chris Jericho ringside collectibles exclusive figure by any chance? Jericho with the belt, so you don't have to get the Chase version to get it. But he comes with the spread from when he won the title, where he has like the champagne, but he's got like the meat tray that he thought was terrible, so it comes with that. I was watching an interview where they showed it, and he's like, "Wait, is that actually the tray?" And they're like, "Yeah." He's like, "You know what's funny is the one that's on this packaging, I think is better than the one that they actually had for me." So He's still not over that. But all right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we can wrap that up at that point because that's going over it. Yeah. All right. So, and then enjoy the rest of the show after this because I think we'll just put this in the beginning.
There you go.
All right.
Welcome
to the agony
of positivity. Lethal leap year.
That is true. Today is leap year. Yeah.
Yes, it was
leap
when
day.
we were recording. Yeah,
Leap
whatever.
day.
Did you see where someone, I assume it was from 4 years ago, but who knows, where someone dug up Neil deGrasse Tyson's tweet, like, just doing what he does, basically, which is just make people irritated at him now.
Okay.
Where he's like, well, really, it's not a leap day, and it's to catch up to time. And someone was like, if only there was some kind of a word for a sudden jump. Like, it was just funny. Because I know, like, it seems like he went from a liked celebrity type person to where then he just started, like, tearing down stuff where people were just looking to have fun. And it's like, all right, dude, you're now just like a wet blanket, and you need to stop. That's what it felt like.
Some people just want to watch the world burn.
It's like, yeah, people probably know some of the stuff that I've seen him do. It's like, yeah, people probably know that. They're just trying to have a good time.
Sure.
Like, it's okay to just chill. But how has your week been?
It's been all right. Yeah, nothing too exciting.
The same can be said for me.
Yes.
Got tax stuff, which is terrible.
Now, I will say this on Thursday, and this will lead into our wrestling conversation. So I got off work a little early, okay?
All right.
So I was driving home, and you sent me a text, like, hey, Saul, or whatever. Basically, you were saying, don't text me, basically, because I'm going to be watching the thing on my break, the Super Showdown.
Yes. I can tell you, I believe it was, I'm going to have to avoid all social media.
Yes. So I was like, so I'm thinking to myself, okay, I totally forgot that Super Showdown was today. I'm going to be home right when it starts, or right about, a little bit few after or whatever. I'm going to watch it. So I was actually kind of excited to watch a WWE pay-per-view, because I've not seen WWE for, I don't know, a couple months, I think.
Right?
Yeah, so, and that's a good segue to go into.
All right, here we go.
This is a revolution.
I just want everyone to know, when there is a white version of Static Shock showing up, it's probably me, as my static electricity powers are becoming off the charts.
So Ross, I'm really glad that you told me all about the Super Showdown, or reminded me.
Yes.
Is it called Super Showdown?
Yeah, it was SSD, and I kept thinking solid state drive.
Okay,
I was like, that is a weird sponsor. And I was like, oh.
Solid state drive.
Yeah, so it seems like, so I have lots of things to say about this event.
Yeah.
And the reality of it is I fast forwarded through a lot of it because I had to watch it later in the evening on Thursday or Friday or whatever day I watched it. I had to avoid social media of all kinds.
Gotcha.
Because I know with this, if somehow you haven't seen it, there's obviously going to be spoilers here that we're talking about. On the off chance you're listening to us, but you haven't watched it and you're waiting.
Yes. This turn
probably skip quite a while.
This turn is off. Watch this train wreck of a show, and then come back. Yes.
But yeah, so these things started out as what everyone called like a glorified house show.
Okay.
And I would agree. Because it was kind of like where the house shows, like, canon's kind of out the window and they just do whatever. Sure. But now things are getting a little different. It's getting a more legitimate event.
Which they should. I'm sorry. If you're going to be doing a big show like this, it should go along with your storylines.
Yes, that you're promoting.
Yes.
It's going to be on the network that people are going to see.
Yeah.
All right. So, coming into it, I've pulled one of my favorite tweets that I saw. A Mr. @Kazim on Twitter had said, "Y'all don't know how bad I want Goldberg to just nerf the Fiend in like 12 seconds. just for the internet reaction. I need that like I need oxygen. Please feed me.
Well, he got his wish there.
So, yeah, and I think people saw this coming. And if you didn't,
so
how surprised are you really?
And-
Because do you really think they're dusting off Goldberg to have him lose to The Fiend or anybody?
So, I mean, and we talked about this last week. And you're like, man, I really hope Goldberg, whatever you said, you hope Goldberg just beats the Fiend so you watch the internet go insane.
Well, right, and we got however long we want to talk about this. We can drag this out forever. We could make a weekly show about the reactions on this thing.
What I don't understand the. I mean, because it wasn't just Goldberg. There was other baffling things that happened.
Yes,
in this show, and you have some more tweets here.
Yes, but let's start with the other stuff.
Okay,
that happened on this show that we sort of watched. Now, did you watch the whole thing like as it was going live? Or
I missed the AJ Styles.
Okay,
thing.
So they did their gauntlet thing.
Yeah,
and one of the reactions I saw to it was, "Holy crap! This is the most house show gauntlet match ever," based on how they were doing everything.
Yeah.
So, from the bit of it that I watched, because I was like, man, there's nothing that I really like. The trophy looked cool, but they're not going to do anything with it. Usually it gets destroyed. Going back to Bad News Brown at WrestleMania 4 and Bret Hart, where the trophy got destroyed. People just destroy trophies.
I mean,
they carry them around. Like,
it's not like the NFL, you know.
Right. You're not defending the trophy.
Yeah.
It's just something like, who was it? Was it Cesaro that they had to carry that thing around for forever?
Sure.
Well, he was a Paul Heyman guy, and all they did was talk about Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And Cesaro was just kind of there, and it's like, well, this was a mistake.
And then, like, Shane McMahon won it was it a year ago or 2 years ago?
Well, he won the Best in the World tournament. I can't remember if they had the trophy for that, where Miz got robbed.
Yeah.
I really think they should have let Miz win. You know what? If Miz wasn't going to win it, you know what would have been a real good thing?
Yeah.
Is if maybe he got to beat Shane McMahon once.
Yeah.
Once, just one time.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, nothing like getting your dad beat up by somebody and then you can't defend their honor a single time. Oh my goodness. So we had, for the kickoff, they had Gallows and Anderson against the Viking Raiders. I did not see that.
You guys did a great job of re-signing with WWE because they are really using you guys great.
I think they are pleased with their money.
And you know, if that is what they wanted, then hey, more power to them.
You know, the thing is, and we say this about AEW a lot,
yeah.
but I'm going to start saying it about WWE. They could turn them into something different very quickly if they just gave them some story,
sure,
and had them be done. Like, they could fix it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't have the faith that that would happen to them, but it is.
You mean the Gimpy Bullet Club, the faction that they're in is not that Gimpy Bullet?
It is. Yeah, it's just not doing it.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Yeah, so a lot of these matches I didn't even see. Like the Mansoor and Ziggler, didn't see that match. I saw someone complaining.
I saw the Garza one.
Yeah.
Talking about a crowd that was not in it at all. I mean, it was so quiet during that match.
I assume, though, based on these two guys, the match was probably really good.
Yeah, but like the fans could care less about it.
Does that make it, like, because you've watched enough wrestling to know a good match when you see one. Mm-hmm. But does it hurt the match to you as a viewer if the crowd just doesn't care?
Yes.
Like, it just seems...
It does. I mean, for me, it does.
Like something's missing almost.
Yeah, it's the final piece to the...
to the performance?
To making the cake. If you're making a cake...
No icing. The crowd can be the icing.
The crowd can be the icing.
Because even if... Like, when the crowd just... dumped all over Roman for so much. Even though, in a sense, that hurt it, it still made it interesting. Sure. Just that it was like, wow, they are just really going to battle the crowd on this just nonstop.
Sure.
It was kind of an element to the story. And any kind of reaction. But yeah, because I've definitely seen matches where it's like, what was it? There was a Great American Bash where I believe it was Finlay against Regal or Finlay against Benoit. Like, it was some weird match that wasn't supposed to happen. And the crowd was not buying it. It was one where there was the Punjabi prison, like in Indianapolis or something, I think. Or somewhere. Unfortunately, we made the decision to buy tickets, and it was not worth it. But it was one of the better matches I've ever seen.
Okay.
The crowd did not care.
Yeah.
So it's hard to be like one of 4 people who are like, this is amazing, and everyone around you just sitting on their hands.
Sure.
So
yeah, that's true.
But now, do you feel bad for the performer in that situation? Like for Garza and Humberto, like you can tell they're putting on like any normal crowd that was into it would be like, this match is awesome.
Yeah,
if
that was in AEW, for example,
right, or even like Ring of Honor,
New Japan. I mean, the fans would have been into it.
Right. Well, in New Japan, that's a different style crowd. Like their reactions are more kind of mild.
Yeah,
but they're still something.
Yes,
like you expect it.
See, I don't feel sorry for anybody especially if you go over to the Saudi Arabia shows, because I think WWE is giving you extra money to actually just go to that thing. So
right,
I don't
so you know what you're getting into, kind of thing.
Yeah,
right. And if they don't know who you are, and you're still relatively new to WWE, you're probably not getting anything over there. But I'm
going for a paycheck.
It still sucks though to be like, man, these guys are killing it.
Sure.
And then speaking of killing it, there's going to be a tag match later that made me just wince. I didn't see the whole R-Truth, Rusev, Eric Rowan thing.
Was Rusev there?
I have no idea.
This
might be old. Yeah, no, he wasn't there.
Yeah. So
did this thing even happen? I'm showing how little I know about what goes on in WWE.
I don't think it did. I think that Battle Royal took the place of that.
Okay. Could be.
The Bailey did. Roman Reigns happened and still Cage.
Yeah. That match, I watched it, but in like 1.5 time, basically.
Yeah, I don't want
and it won. So, due to the ridiculous AEW cage, this cage was like, man, that's really small. But then I was like, it doesn't need to be as big as AEW's was.
Yeah.
Like, this cage size is fine. But
sure.
I do like, I think I'm a fan of the no escape. Like, escaping the cage isn't a win. I think I like that because it's been escape the cage for so long that I like not being able to escape is different, I guess. Sure. And like Hell in a Cell, people always get into the cell. Like it's gonna happen, sure. Like 100%.
Yeah.
So, but I mean that match seemed fine. At this point, if I never see, as little as I watch WWE, I have seen more Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin matches. I think than any other superstar in my life.
Yeah.
What do we got? The Bailey Naomi match. I mean, that seemed like a fine match.
Yeah, it was all right.
I laughed at her tucking the shoe into the shirt. Like,
yes.
All right, so
I comment on that. They're like, I was watching on YouTube one of the Wrestle Zone or Wrestle whatever
Talk or,
Wrestle Talk, yeah,
something.
They were talking. They're like, you made Naomi look like a buffoon because you can't get her shoe right because it got trapped in a shirt. They're like,
well, Bailey stuck it there.
Sure. It was just funny. The way he said it, I was like, yeah, that's true, yeah. I think he was still angry at what to follow with the rest of the show, and he was just nitpicking at that point.
Right. Yeah, because it is funny that I'm definitely not pro WWE.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider myself anti WWE. I'd like them to be good. I mean,
sure.
I've watched them my whole life.
Yeah.
I just, at the moment, there's very little that interests me. We talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
But the whole shoe thing in the shirt, I was like, oh, that's clever. And then I was like, that's all it was to me. Be like, of course, that's pretty sneaky heel tactics.
Sure.
I have zero, like, I don't have an issue with that. Now, poor Dean Ambrose before he died and just disappeared off the face of the earth. TV's blowing up in his face. That sucked.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I have no problem with the shirt thing because that's a stupid heel tactic thing.
Well, sure,
to do,
it was a
and
strategy.
it worked.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and I mean, it made sense. Like, I thought that worked. I was like, I would not have guessed that as part of the finish.
Sure.
Clever.
Yeah.
That's really what I thought. I was like, that is clever. Of all the things to be mad about, I think you're right. That guy's just like picking nits to be mad.
Yeah.
So the New Day against Miz and Morrison.
Yeah.
So I love Miz and Morrison because it gives Miz something to do.
Okay. You are a huge Miz fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one day his greatness he will have the world title again. I feel. I hope. So.
Anything goes in WWE now.
The first thing that I would like to say is I still think Starship Pain is the absolute worst finisher possibly on Earth for someone who has gotten as good as John Morrison, as athletic as he is.
Yeah.
Starship Pain is at best a 2-count move in my mind.
Okay.
Do you agree or disagree?
It's not bad. It's not the greatest thing.
At best, it's a split-legged moonsault that's fancy.
Yeah.
What?
It's not the worst.
At one point, Rob Van Dam used split-legged moonsault as a finisher, and you know what he decided? It wasn't very impactful.
No.
So he was like, I'll just jump really high and land on him. And 5-star frog fly. Much better finisher.
Now, what'd you think about Rolling Thunder? Did you like Rolling Thunder?
Yeah, it's just a 2-count move. I mean, it was a little bit busy.
Yeah, that's true. I guess it never...
it wasn't a finisher. Now, in the Raw Deal card game, if you played it after, I forget what it was, it couldn't be reversed and had some value.
See, okay, I'm talking about Rolling Thunder in ECW, where he had Sabu help him.
Now, are you talking... because Rolling Thunder is where hit the ropes, do the roll up into the senton?
So Van Dam would be outside, Sabu would be in the ring, and he would bounce off the ropes or whatever, and then he would, jump or something with the chair... and land on the guy's stomach. As he's landing on it, Van Dam would jump over the rope.
Oh, he'd do the face
drop.
buster.
Or whatever, yeah.
Right.
That's what
I'm okay with that part. But yeah, in WWE, when he just did Rolling Thunder, is put him near the ropes, and then it's like, he does an elaborate, basically body splash, is really what it comes down to.
Sure.
Versus an elaborate throat chop, I guess, for the worm, or an elbow drop. I'll take Van Dam's all day.
Sure.
And Van Dam's didn't take 45 minutes of my life.
See, I think Cena's move...
5-knuckle shuffle?
I think that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yes. I think, though, because... Now I'm trying to remember back when he was a heel. I think he was doing that as a bad guy, and it was more the insulting to them.
Gotcha.
Like,
they kept
sometimes
stuck with him.
If you're a heel, in my mind... What I come up with is there's some moves that you do, almost like we'll go with the No Mercy, where there's moves you could do that would just drop their spirit meter if you did it to them, or when you would taunt, you could drop their spirit. I can view a move like that if you're a heel, you're just being a jerk, you're mocking them basically.
Sure.
Kind of like Orange Cassidy, once the matches actually get going and he's really wrestling, but then he'll come back and do just something that's super weak to him.
Gotcha.
It's just mocking them like a mind game to mess with them.
Yeah.
So sometimes I can come up with, it makes sense to me.
Gotcha.
Now, when you're a good guy, it makes me feel like you're pandering to the crowd. I just don't understand it.
Sure.
So, but that's what I try to go with. But, so in this match, Kofi Kingston clearly had a concussion and lost his mind. Because he just threw himself...
Yes.
From the inside of the ring, It was just watch this. Now, I like to imagine that there was a discussion about Miz being no, I'm not going to catch you if you do that. And he's like, I'm doing it anyway. He's like, I'm really not going to catch you.
Yes.
Kofi, don't do this.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, I know you'll catch me. And you're like, I'm telling you, it's not going to happen.
Yes.
And then that's what happened. Somehow, because I just don't understand. I'm just staring off into space thinking about this.
Yeah.
That seems like a WrestleMania type thing to do.
Sure.
Because that that's going to hurt.
Yes.
Like, there's no way. Like, that's basically the equivalent of Nash standing on the apron and jackknifing you. Like, that's just free fall.
Yes.
Like, really, the jackknife might be easier.
Yes.
Because you're not, like, also going sideways. Because he hit and was still moving a direction as opposed to just straight down.
Yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, well, okay, that was something.
Well, because I was like, oh no, Miz is out of position.
Yes.
And then I was like, oh, Kofi's dead.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah.
What? So, massive credit to Kofi Kingston for being willing to, whatever that was, I hope that doesn't become a standard thing that he does. Please.
So do you think I mean, we can move on to the next one after this, but
Right.
I think we spent way too much time talking about.
I just, that needed to be, like, that's insane to me.
Like, so do you think the New Day, do you think they need a new gimmick or something? Because I don't understand. I haven't seen them in a while. So why are they throwing pancakes? And what's up with the pancakes?
Somehow, I forget what it was, but, like, pancakes just became their thing. So they're running with it.
Okay.
And, because, have you ever listened to their podcast?
No.
If you listen to their podcast, I think it's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
For you especially, immediately hit the 30-second skip button because you were going to hate the intro. I listen to it on my way to work on Mondays, and I hate the intro every time.
Gotcha.
Because it's them being New Day. They're just being ridiculous.
Gotcha.
At 6 in the morning on a Monday, I can't deal with that.
Gotcha.
Now, if it was like Friday morning on my way to, before the weekend, I'd be like, yeah, New Day. I'd be clapping my hand. Monday morning, I'm just like, I hate you. I hate you all. All three of you need to go away. But the quality of, like, what they talk about is fantastic.
I'll have to check it out.
But skip that 30 seconds. Or listen to it once and be like, yeah, he's saving me by telling me to skip this. But
Because
it is just, it's painful on that. Now, middle of the afternoon, like, I'm on my way home from work, probably would be better. But
all right, we've spent way too much time talking about the SmackDown Tag Team Championship.
Let's see here.
Rollins and Murphy there.
Yeah, they didn't fight Kevin Owens. Yeah. Moving on.
Pretty much.
So, all right. So we're just going to get to what do we want to go here? We have Lesnar against Ricochet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought Ricochet would get a little offense in.
Yeah.
I guess I was wrong. At no point in anywhere in my existence did I think Ricochet had a shot at winning this match.
Yeah.
I thought that he might at least punch Lesnar.
So, I mean, the whole Lesnar thing, it doesn't bother me as much as the Undertaker or the Goldberg thing coming up.
Right.
But I don't understand the Brock Lesnar being the champion. Like, if you want him to be a monster just destroying people, ECW did a really good job with Sid Vicious. Sid came in, just destroyed people, and then left.
Right.
And you could do the same thing with Brock Lesnar.
Well,
and him being the champion and never
not being around,
it just bugs me.
Well, the thing is, it was like, okay, build up Lesnar, make him unstoppable. Mm-hmm. He breaks the streak. He's been around for a while, so it turns out that maybe that wasn't the worst call ever. There's definitely other people, I think, who could have benefited from that.
Sure.
But over time, it's not been as bad because he's around. I mean, he's around a lot more recently than he has been in the past. Yeah. So there's some improvement there for it. But, like, the only people who've beat him have been, like, Goldberg, Rollins,
yes.
and Reigns.
Yes.
Like, you're not really building anybody.
I mean, and for him to completely destroy Ricochet, I mean, I just don't get it.
Right.
Don't understand.
I think Brock can put on some really good matches. Like, I've been entertained by a lot of his stuff. This just, why? Why
even get on the airplane to go to Saudi Arabia for that?
Right.
I mean,
well, Ricochet's good. Like, it seems like you could have gave him a little bit and still had, like, Lesnar's obviously going to beat him, but I'm not there for however they discuss that, so I don't know, but it just seems weird.
Yes.
But yeah, AJ got, at the end of that thing, Undertaker shows up, which is always cool. love the Undertaker. Still wish he'd have the gray booties and the gloves. Like
Yeah,
that's my
yeah.
favorite version.
Yeah.
Not the purple, the gray.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just like him choke dropping AJ Styles, I guess.
That choke slam. I mean, the more and more they bring out the Undertaker, the magic is slowly every time the magic just goes away. There's a little bit more,
Right.
and I'm just like, Undertaker, just stay dead and
Something.
haunt the graveyards and
Right.
I don't know.
So we're going to get to what everybody has been talking about, but we got a couple tweets to go over here. So we had TV Ted Whiteboy at Twitter.
Yeah.
So I pulled these from like random websites because I wasn't going to scroll through Twitter myself.
Sure.
But he had AJ Styles, 12 years younger than The Undertaker. Taker wins in 7 seconds. Ricochet, 11 years younger than Brock Lesnar. Lesnar wins in 2 minutes. Bray Wyatt, 21 years younger than Goldberg. Goldberg wins in 3 minutes. And then he's like, nice to see WWE building new young stars heading into Mania.
Yeah.
Hashtag WWE Solid State Drive. Now, of those three, I have no issue that Ricochet lost. I just feel like he should have got something in.
Sure.
Kind of like at the Rumble, where it would have been nice if Cesaro could have got a little bit of time with Lesnar to be like, oh man, Cesaro's pretty tough.
Well, and the thing about AJ Styles losing to the Undertaker, why does the Undertaker even care about that?
Any of that
about
whole-
that trophy? Why does he care about that?
There could have been something where AJ Styles has called out Undertaker somehow or something.
Okay, yeah.
I
Now,
don't
if
watch the
he's
weekly programming to know if that's like a payoff to
now, yeah.
Styles
So
running his
if
mouth.
AJ Styles is like, I'm the greatest, I can beat the Undertaker,
Right.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, if he's ran his mouth. But
Yeah.
we have Macaulay Culkin at the Incredible Culk. He had just canceled tickets to Tampa Bay.
Uh-huh.
I wonder if that's true. Because,
I don't know. It might be.
we'll see.
It'd be funny if he's showing about
There's-
Revolution tonight.
Yeah. I mean, he's a wrestling fan.
He is.
So,
He is.
we got an at Mr. Brandon Stroud reminder that Goldberg not actually doing his finisher was stronger than 11 Rollins stomps, falling into exploding production equipment, a sledgehammer, hammer to a ladder, hammer to a chair on ladder, hammer to a box on a chair on a ladder, also 17 minutes of Daniel Bryan with a strap.
Yes.
So those were some of the things that made me laugh reading through it. But now we're going to actually talk about the match. The Fiend is a chump.
Apparently,
I knew he couldn't hang with the might of Bill Goldberg
Yes.
with his 3-step spears, which is, in reality, it is nice to see him not murder people with a spear.
Sure.
There's still some people who are probably in traction from when he was in his prime.
Yeah. See, so that's the whole problem with Goldberg that I have. I've never been a Goldberg fan anyway, even in
Right.
WCW.
I was going to say, because you were a WCW
I
guy
was
for sure.
I was a WCW guy. I was never a fan even when he was in WCW. But he was younger. He was massive. He played the role of a beast.
Yes.
So, okay, I understood and just power everybody.
Right. Yeah, he was just a dominant dude.
He has never adapted that gimmick in his entire wrestling career. Him being an old man now, I don't.
He's in real good shape, though. To be fair,
he is. I mean, sure, he's better shape than me. I mean,
he's in better shape than a lot of people.
Yeah.
He's still a big guy.
yeah.
Like, credit where credit's
But
due.
that character is. I mean, physically, he can't do it anymore. He can't pick people up and jackhammer. I mean, he couldn't pick up Bray Wyatt and jackhammer him.
Well, I think that he was a little bit gassed from the spears.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Well, did you see the interview afterwards on WWE
no.
Network?
I certainly did not.
So they went back there and asked him, like, Goldberg, you just beat the Fiend. How do you feel? And he's like, well, I mean, he was winded bad.
Now, to be fair, if you're doing like those kind of like just like the drills kind of stuff they do in the ring or like that kind of stuff where you're throwing people around in that,
Sure.
there is a real weird type of endurance you need for that stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
So I can kind of, but you'd think there'd be a little bit of training with the Performance Center. It seems
Yeah.
like you could get in the ring and like run the rope some and
Yeah.
drop down, saying like something, but whatever. I mean,
Well, and so then you got the Fiend. So I never liked the Fiend character. I always thought it was kind of goofy. But I think it was the best story that WWE has developed.
Right.
I mean, it's been about a year now, hasn't it?
Give or take.
Yeah. So, I mean, they've actually made the character into something powerful that can't be stopped.
And now he's just...
Why didn't Bray... I mean, if he has creative control, I've heard that has a little bit more creative control in his character.
Why didn't he do it as Bray as opposed to The Fiend?
Exactly. Why didn't he just... And maybe they did. McMahon's like, no, we're going with this.
The Fiend over here.
Yeah, I mean, you would have still got the belt off Bray.
Right.
You would have... And...
Move on.
You would have moved on, and then
Tell a story where the Fiend doesn't care about Goldberg.
Yeah.
So the Fiend, like, if Bray wants to fight Goldberg, good for him.
Because the story leading up to anything that the Fiend has been, fighting someone with, has always been
someone in the past.
Someone in the past.
Right.
So
Bray fought Miz because
Yeah.
Miz never wronged him.
Exactly.
That's kind of the story I felt.
Yes.
So, well, because I guess Bray did respond on Twitter where it was like, he wasn't part of my story or something like that. Like, kind of saying that the Fiend doesn't really care about Goldberg.
Sure.
And he's on, like, the path he's supposed to be on.
But I think the story would have been better if Bray would have lost to Goldberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to say hindsight, but they had to know that people were not going to be happy.
Well, I wonder sometimes if McMahon is like, yeah, people are going to hate this, and because it was trending on Twitter for a good 5 hours after the pay-per-view.
Everyone's always like cancel WWE Network and stuff, and like.
But why do you want? I mean, I didn't see the ratings for SmackDown. But, I mean, are you hoping, like, people are like, man, I got to watch this, see what they're going to do?
Well, we're getting Fiend against Cena. Yeah. So my hope is that the Fiend just dismantles Cena to get back from their WrestleMania match where pretty sure Cena should have lost. Because that was like the beginning of the end of Bray.
But did you watch that?
The match?
The SmackDown where Fiend came out.
Kinda. Like, I saw a clip of it where he just points at the sign.
Yeah, it's so not fiendish. It's
maybe
weird.
Cena gets a different level of respect. Because Cena was the beginning of everything going south for Bray. Yeah. So, I mean, there's definitely some really good stories they could tell. Sure. And I think it was Sam Roberts. I don't know if you ever listened to his podcast. He was talking about basically like the finish at the Hell in the Cell. Mm-hmm. We just don't talk about it for the most part. Like, all right, well, we're done with that. We're not going to remember it, and it's for the better. Yeah. But he was like, because he was talking about the benefits of Goldberg winning. Yeah. And some of those are you're probably going to end up with Reigns against Goldberg, which it seems like that's what's going to be happening. And that's probably at this point a good way to get Reigns cheered. And Fiend against Cena doesn't really need the belt.
I did see something really funny. Because I guess AEW beat NXT in all the demographics this week or last week. Okay. So then someone put the picture up of Goldberg like, Adam Cole, you're next. So they can get back that 50-plus demographic.
That'd be funny.
It made me laugh. Made me laugh.
I'd like them to move NXT to a different night just so I could watch it. Because I'm not recording stuff. Yeah. I'm not flipping channels. Yes. I'd like to watch NXT, but I'm just too lazy. Sure. You sent me, while we're finishing this part up, is that where Scott Hall tweeted, yes. Guess I better dust off my taser? Mm-hmm. That genuinely made me laugh. Yes. Yeah. I hope that happens. That would be the best thing ever.
I was hoping when the Fiend came out with Cena, the Goldberg one came out and speared him again. Like,
spear them both.
Yes.
Just for no reason. Like, get to assert dominance.
Have you seen people have made that the Goldberg belt with Goldberg's face on it, like the Fiend? It's hysterical. If you get a chance,
I'll look for that. That's awesome. That's going to be a thing for everyone from now on.
They're like, give us this belt. Is this Goldberg's mouth open? Like,
no, is it with the tongue sticking out? Yes. Okay. Because that's how he was in the WCW NWO Revenge. He had like that horrible face. Yes. All right, so let's move on to Revolution. Now, what we're doing is, at the moment, we're recording prior to Revolution starting. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to talk a ton about Dynamite this week.
Really not really a lot to talk about.
Let's talk about the Iron Man match.
That was neat.
Good match.
That was a good match.
the shooting star to the outside. Did you see how much his foot was like shaking on the post part? And I was real worried.
Yes.
The table broke weird.
Yes.
But overall, I thought that was a real good match. I like how they kind of. It seems like they set it up like on the whole count out part, like where Matt helped Kenny in.
Yeah.
Like that kind of screwed Pac in a way.
Yeah.
So I like that he has an argument to make.
Yeah. First disqualification.
Yes.
In AEW.
And they did it in a since it was in the Iron Man match.
Yeah.
It's not. Oh, you screwed the whole match up.
Well, it makes sense because he's like, I'm going to do as much damage as I can.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and they treat in non-crazy matches like a chair shot, like even like the just jab you chair shot, does some damage.
Sure.
It's like SmackDown Bring the Pain.
Yes.
Chair shots were devastating, and then a couple SmackDown after that.
Yeah.
Chair shots didn't do anything.
Yes.
Like, I like the older version.
Yeah.
But then that leads to Pac and Orange Cassidy, which I'm curious how that's going to go because they have been building that subtly for a while. Because they've had a couple confrontations, I think.
Yeah.
I know of one 100%, but so it's not out of nowhere.
So do you think? I mean, we can talk about that when we get to it, but. When we talk about the card, you ready to talk about the card?
Yeah.
Okay,
what we're planning to do at the moment is brief predictions.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go in and edit. I think we're going to talk some after, right? One way or the other. Are you still wanting to do that?
We probably can, yeah.
Okay. Hold on a second. Okay, so after our brief meeting there, so what our plan is to kind of hit these briefly, and then we're going to edit in a discussion after the fact and see how our predictions stand up.
Yeah.
So do you want to start at theoretically the bottom of the card or the top of the card?
Yeah, let's do bottom of the card.
All right. So we're just going by the order that it's listed here.
Yep.
We got Orange Cassidy and Pac.
Yep. So do you think this is the night they turn Orange Cassidy loose
in all his glory?
I mean, actually wrestle, because I've actually seen matches where he actually starts off slow and he just busts it out.
Have you seen some of the more recent matches he's had where it feels like there's a more refined version of it?
Okay.
Where he gets going a little bit quicker and it plays more into him just messing, like trying to infuriate the people.
Gotcha.
It depends on how the commentary handles it.
Yeah. Because I can see the fans losing their mind when he actually starts like wrestling.
Yeah, well, because
everybody,
the fans are going to... I think everyone who watches AEW is probably an Orange Cassidy fan at this point.
Sure.
So they're going to get the exact reaction they want for his whole thing. Mm-hmm. I think old Neville is going to... I saw someone say that prayer circle for Pac because Orange Cassidy is going to beat him so badly that he's going to be Neville again.
No, I don't think... I think Pac still wins this.
Right. I would agree.
I think they're both going to look pretty good because I think Pac's going to underestimate him.
Yeah, that's how they're going to tell the story.
And then as Pac says, "Oh, whoa, okay, this guy is actually playing."
Yeah, like somebody is like, "Wait, he actually is legitimate.
Yep.
He just is lazy or something." Like however they want to play it.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think they're going to let him go all out.
Mm-hmm.
We got Darby and Sammy. So now you had mentioned because they were talking about a match.
Yeah, because
there's like the
AEW did
C2E2.
Yeah,
where Cody mentioned something about they're going to bring back an old school match. Now the way he said it in the interview, it sounded like they'd do like a promo for it at the end of the show or something like that if they were okay on time.
Okay,
so that makes me think it's not going to be a match on this card.
Okay,
but you had saying a casket match for him.
Well, just because, and the reason I say this, I mean, no dirt sheets is reporting this. Right. This is just me.
I read a Reddit thread earlier today where someone else brought that up.
Yeah,
and people are like, "Oh, that's actually like," because when you said it, like I'd never heard. It didn't even occur to me. For a second.
Because how his segment ended on Dynamite, or maybe how the Dynamite ended, I don't know. Right. He holds up a sign.
Yeah, the coffin's going to drop or whatever.
So,
yeah, and I don't like. I mean, it makes sense if you're trying to figure out what it would be.
Yeah.
And I think, because I hadn't heard anyone say it when you sent it to me, that'd be fantastic.
Sure.
And he'd be a good, like, you wouldn't expect him to have it, but it fits the gimmick.
It does, yeah.
And casket matches are sweet, for the most part.
Sure.
Until you have the whole roster come, and then they steal your urn, and then they turn it into a necklace. And then you have to reclaim your necklace and have it melted back down into a different
correct
urn.
me if I'm wrong. You may or may not know this, but wasn't the first casket match in WWE actually nothing to do with Undertaker? It was Goldust?
I think somewhere I read that Dusty Rhodes was involved in one.
Okay.
But I have no...
It's just weird.
I don't know the history of the match.
Sure.
There was a time that I did know the history of it, but no clue now.
It's just weird how... If your character is not associated with death, or something to do with death, why a casket?
If it was like Orange Cassidy against Jake Hager, and that was the casket match?
Yes.
So, they built to this match pretty rapidly all of a sudden, but the initial part was laid out.
Well, yeah, because they destroyed his windpipe or whatever.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to assume Darby wins this one.
Yeah, I think so.
Would you agree? Okay. I think Sammy will have his time before long, where he'll go on a run. And
now, the argument could be made that you want the inner circle looking strong, and the inner circle they win everything tonight.
Could be.
So I can see the argument.
That.
I can see the argument.
I feel like Darby. I don't know. Seems like they're going to run with Darby some.
Well, because he had a huge pop on Dynamite. So.
Well, I mean, people are into him.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but we both think Darby.
I do think.
But you could. I agree with your argument, though. If Sammy does win, you could see a sweep coming.
Yeah.
Hager and Rhodes.
Hager.
I kind of assumed that he would have to win. Haven't seen him wrestle in a long time. What do you think the match is going to be? It's just going to be like a match, or
I'm not seeing anything special of it.
Like it's something set up to make Hager look good.
Yeah, I would assume yes.
All right,
because his undefeated streak in MMA or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's just going to be standard. But I would agree, Hager there. This thing lists it with Cody against MJF.
Yeah.
What do you think?
MJF. Arn Anderson turns on Cody.
Ooh. I think MJF just wins straight up.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he's going to be a bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. But I agree. I think this is set up for MJF to be the guy.
Yeah. Regardless of how it comes, I think MJF wins.
Like, MJF if you're thinking of long term, MJF gains a ton beating Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Cody doesn't really get anything out of beating MJF.
Yeah.
It completes the story. Or, you know what? I'm going to change it. Cody loses by DQ. Because he loses his mind and just does something horrible to MJF. Yeah. That's what I'm going to go with.
I can see that.
We got...
But I 100% believe Arn Anderson is going to turn on Cody. It might be too soon right now for him to do that.
Right.
But I think somewhere before this year ends, I think
that's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah.
There's no way that it wouldn't. Like when the Revival show up.
Yes.
I guess.
Yes.
Nyla Rose against Statlander.
Nyla.
Yeah, I would assume so. I think that match is going to be really good.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they're going to beat the crap out of each other. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to be entertained the whole time.
Yep.
And I'm going to predict we're going to see a belt that's bigger.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right. So Kenny and Paige against the Young Bucks.
Yep.
What do you think?
I think the heel Young Bucks come back tonight.
Yeah.
And I think Kenny Omega joins them. And
I'm going to, similar to that, I think Young Bucks cheat or just, they're the heels in the match.
Yeah. At
the end, Kenny sees the reality of what's going on. And him and Hangman are both 100% face.
Okay.
And the Bucks are 100% the bad guys at the end of it.
Okay, yeah.
Like, to where at first, this is how I, obviously fantasy booking, where Kenny's like talking to the Bucks, and like he's pretty irritated because they were playing dirty the whole match or something.
Yeah.
But he's still friends with them. and then they're just like a jerk to Paige or something.
Okay.
Something happens between that, and he's standing there, and he realizes that Paige is actually in the right, and then he turns on him, kind of.
Yeah,
and then you have like a feud or something out of that.
I can see that too, yeah.
So, but yeah, so it seems like we're in agreement that the Bucks are winning one way or the other.
I think the Bucks will win, yeah.
Okay. And then we got the championship match, Moxley and Jericho. What do you think? I feel like this really could go either way.
I do, because Jericho's tour is coming up.
Yeah, so you can see where and Moxley is definitely hot if you're looking at that.
He is hot, but
Jericho's so good with the belt.
So here's the problem with AEW. There's very few people that I can actually see having that belt.
Yes.
And actually helping the company to make people want to watch it. The other person that can help, the one person other than Chris Jericho that can help the company with the belt, is a person that you restricted from having the belt, which is Cody.
And then Moxley would be next, though. I would say.
Really? I mean, I like Moxley.
I don't think you realize how popular he is with people.
Sure, I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that he's not popular. He's not Chris Jericho popular. As far as him being a champ, I mean, Jericho can get away with more with being a champ.
Right.
As far as doing TV appearances and...
So before you make your decision,
yeah.
I read an interesting argument or train of thought. So Jericho, since he's been the champ, he worked with Darby, made Darby look amazing. Sure. That definitely helped him. Worked with Scorpio, worked with Jungle Boy. He actually had done Sammy, right? I'm not insane. Like, Jericho fought Sammy at one point, didn't he?
I don't think so.
I thought he did.
He might have. I don't know.
Hold on. We're going to stop for a second. Okay, I'm incorrect. I was thinking of when he fought Cody and they were about to shake hands and then the whole thing happened. Yep. So... But either way, so the discussion was that Jericho's worked with some of the faces and brought them up a level. Okay. Yeah. So now you have Moxley, who's super face, basically. He's definitely a good guy for alignment at the moment. He can elevate some of the bad guys to a higher level.
Sure.
By fighting them. And then he also could very easily be the tweener style, where he could also face good guys. Like, I mean, he's had a match against Darby.
It's true. Yeah.
So, from a building people, Moxley having the belt, like, Jericho's done an awful lot with it.
Yes.
So, moving it to Moxley would be an argument for that.
Yeah, I mean, so I could see Moxley winning the belt, and I could see Jericho taking off for a couple months to give his character a break a little bit. So you miss him a little bit.
Right.
And then when he comes back, beating Mox... Getting the belt back again? Or whatever.
Well, I'd be curious as to what his feud would be without the title. Like, what would he do without the belt?
Yeah.
Like, I'd be interested to see that.
Yeah.
So, what are you going with?
I'm going to say Jericho.
I think they give it to Moxley.
Okay.
But if Jericho wins, I'm still, like... I'm not going to be disappointed unless they do like some dumb double disqualification. Like, that's the only disappointing result.
Jericho spears Moxley.
Do you want to make a prediction on the order of the card?
On the order of the card?
Because I think they're going to open with Darby and Sammy.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then I'm pretty sure that Hager against Dustin or Pac and Cassidy are going to be before the main event.
Okay, I can see that.
Because I think... You're going to have Cody, so final match is the title match. The match before that, very likely Pac and Orange Cassidy, because there's going to be some comic relief there. But the match before that is MJF and Cody.
Okay, yeah.
And that's going to be like the kind of like the entertainment breather, so to say. So, and then I have no idea where the Nyla or Hager match really goes. But
so now we haven't talked about any surprise people coming in. Now, do you think there's any surprise people coming in?
Ooh.
With Archer, Brody Lee, Matt Hardy ain't coming. People think Matt Hardy's going to be here tonight. He's not, because he's still under contract. Unless this pay-per-view goes to like 12:30 at night.
And then he shows up right after. That'd be amazing.
I
don't know if they will.
Okay.
Like, there might be a vignette where something happens.
So do you think, because the Dark Order is opening up in the pregame show, or whatever you want to call it.
The Exalted One shows up on the pregame?
That'd be stupid, I think.
I feel like that's like a...
Do you think the Exalted One lets his presence be known somewhere with one of these matches tonight?
Could be.
Okay.
I mean, it seems like right around now, like, they need to...
Yes.
Even if it's, he's going to be on Dynamite.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, show me somebody
Yeah.
at this point.
So who do you think the Exalted One is?
I just don't know. I really don't. I'm more leaning now, like, after reading people's thoughts, like, a multi-person group is the Exalted One.
Okay, yeah.
To give them some more numbers.
Okay. I'm thinking Brody Lee. I think Brody Lee shows up tonight.
You think he's going to be crazy?
And for you
Luke
people,
Harper?
for you people that don't
For
know,
you people.
for you people that are not wrestling nerds, Brody Lee is Luke Harper.
Do you think he's clean cut?
No, because he wasn't clean cut before he joined WWE.
Right, but I'm saying, like, to distance himself now from that to be slightly different.
That would definitely be weird. Comes out wearing a suit.
Yep. He's dressed like the spokesman guy.
Yes. I mean, it would be something. But, so you're thinking no surprises at all. This just how it is.
Yeah, I think it's going to be straightforward. I think they will tease stuff for Dynamite. Is more likely.
Because
Archer showing up would be...
Because we already know Archer is showing up on Dynamite, regardless.
Right. So he could... Yeah. I don't think they'll
because
mess with
doesn't
the
he have an
matches,
issue
though.
with Moxley?
Well, he lost the U.S. Or the United States title or whatever it is in New Japan to him.
Okay.
Like, because Moxley basically just showed up and was given a title match.
Sure.
So he would definitely have reason, but I don't think they'll mess with the world title match.
Okay.
I hope not, because that could make me, depending on how it's done, I could be displeased.
Gotcha.
So, all right. So, do you want to talk any entertainment stuff or music or video games?
Yeah, we can talk a little bit, because I do have a little bit of complaints. Not too much, but yeah.
What's it on? Video games or TV?
Political ads ruining my YouTube.
All right,
watching.
here we go.
Something that could never, ever possibly destroy us. Mr. Stay Puft.
You have chosen wisely.
Yeah, so YouTube
So-
bumming you out.
So,
Now, I'm at the point,
yeah.
before you get too far,
Yes.
so at work, I got a $50 Amazon card.
Okay.
Because I don't know why.
Yes.
I am about to use that $50 Amazon card
Okay.
to buy YouTube Premium
Okay.
so I don't have to watch advertisements.
Yes.
Like, I'm really at that point. If they had physical cards that I could buy at the grocery store and get, like, extra fuel points on,
Sure.
I would have already done it. 100%. Like, it's at the point where I'm unfortunately using YouTube a lot more than I've ever used in my life.
Yeah.
A minute and 46-second ad I cannot deal with.
Yes.
And when I refresh, the refresh game does not go my way.
Yes. So, and this has nothing to do with who Mike Bloomberg is affiliated with.
Yeah, I don't care who you are.
But
Get your...
his commercials, my God. I mean, because what I normally do at night, I'll typically type in old movies and just watch the action scenes or whatever.
Yeah, like whatever.
Like 5-minute clips of a movie or whatever. And Mike Bloomberg, my God, every time I try to watch something, I hear his political ads. And I'm like, get off my TV, man.
Goes to say that the guy has a lot of money.
I guess, because he is ruining my TV watching.
Between him and mattress factories.
Yes.
Like, those are the worst offenders.
Yes.
And so, I thought this one was targeted, but we'll find out. So, I've been looking at, like, the silicone wedding bands that you can get.
Okay.
Because those are a lot cheaper.
Okay.
Have you seen the minute and 46 commercial on those?
No.
I believe it's a minute 46, but it's one of the silicone wedding band companies. It's like, how are you going to put an over 30-second commercial for a silicone wedding band is ridiculous.
Yes.
Like, I don't know, maybe they talk about watch bands or how they can cure cancer or something,
Yes.
but I'm never going to get that far because I just refresh it.
Yes.
Like, if I see more than 36 seconds, refresh and hope. and hope that it just gives me mercy and just plays my video.
Yeah, so that's my only entertainment issue, because I don't think I've really watched any. Yeah.
Now, I've done very little. Oh, we could talk about the music thing. So we've decided the songs. We are really dragging this thing out like Cody for the music listening to.
Yes.
So the band we revealed last week, which is in fact Sloppy Seconds, there are 3 songs. So if you want to find these and listen to them between now and next week to experience Solomon's joy.
Well, how long are they?
It's going to be about 5 minutes of your life.
Well, we can actually stop it right now, and we can listen to this right now if you so desire. So give us a few minutes, and we'll be right back.
All right. So Solomon has just spent 6 minutes of his life listening to one of my favorite bands, Sloppy Seconds.
Yeah.
Again, the songs were Ice Cream Man,
so
The Mighty Heroes, and 15 minutes or it's free.
So 15 minutes or it's free is the first song we listen to.
Yes. So what we'll do here is I'll explain some of the song and then get your thoughts on it.
Okay.
So I like this song because it's about pizza delivery. If people some people may not know, I believe it was late 80s, early 90s. Domino's was doing that 30 minutes or it's free thing.
Yeah.
And then they eventually stopped because people were getting into accidents and they did not care about their drivers at all. But one of my favorite lines in this song is wired like a bomb at 2:45 due to taking ephedrine and drinking a gallon of tea. Yeah. So, but since I delivered pizza, I like it, and I think it's a good song. But so, what do you got for your notes?
So that song.
Actually, wait.
Yeah.
So this is considered definitely punk rock to normal people, specifically junk rock.
Okay.
But this is nowhere close to something you would choose to listen to.
No, it wouldn't.
Ever.
No.
Okay.
But now saying that,
right?
If it was on in the background, and I was like working on something in the background, like at a shop or something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't turn it off. It's not bad. I thought it was going to be just like cancer to my ears.
No, it's not like dubstep of punk rock.
Yeah, so I mean, I can.
But no, the stuff I listen to, it's decent. It's just not the style that a lot of people prefer.
So I can listen to it in the background. This was not one of my favorite songs. I thought it was stupid. Because I'm a big lyrics person.
Yeah.
And if the lyrics is just somebody whining and complaining, which that's all this song is. That's a guy complaining about his job.
This is an anti-capitalism song.
Sure.
Essentially.
Yeah, it just wasn't for me.
Not for you?
Yeah.
All right. See, I still like it because having delivered for a place that was like, you gotta go.
Sure.
It's like, you guys are jerks.
Sure. I don't.
And how the customers, like at one point it talks about, you can set your watch by me because he's so quick, but also watch me wrap my car around a tree.
Yes.
But nobody cares if I come to harm. You're just happy to get your pizza warm.
So I don't need help getting angry at my job, or
right.
I can get there pretty good without that. So would that be one of my first songs?
Okay.
Yes.
I just like the song. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
But then we went to the Mighty Heroes.
I actually kind of like that one. I thought it was pretty good.
It's basically comparing, at the time of writing like modern stuff to more older things. Mm-hmm. There is a line, my favorite is, I walk through the valley of death, but I fear no evil, because I believe it's Billy Jack and Evel Knievel.
Yes.
So they rhymed that.
Yeah.
So, so enjoyable.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one out of all of them, because he's telling a story of all these heroes in movies and stuff like that.
Right.
I thought it was
pretty good.
I thought it was pretty good. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
Of all of them, that's the one I like.
Okay.
Yes.
So I will say, I don't think you'd be running out to buy their albums anyway, but lyrically, they're all over the place. But you're not going to get serious lyrics out of them.
Sure.
At all. So, but the final one we did was one of the more entertaining ones, I think, is The Ice Cream Man.
Yes.
Where it's basically about a 25-year-old who just got parole being an ice cream man. How did you...
it makes more sense that I guess he's out on parole. I just thought it was a song like a sexual predator was driving a truck.
No, it's someone who should not be an ice cream man because they don't care.
Yes.
Like, in my mind, I think of Otto from The Simpsons.
Okay,
but he's doing the ice cream truck.
Gotcha.
Because at one point they're like, I hate the ice cream chimes. They sound like effing nursery rhymes.
Yes.
I play Motley Crue, basically. Which gives me the visual of this ice cream man who's just jamming out to Motley Crue through the speaker.
Yeah, so this is the one I hated the most. I just thought it was dumb.
Right.
Because we live somewhat close to a really crappy city. I'm not going to name the city.
Right.
But in the summertime, there's a lot of ice cream trucks, and I see there's people that I would never buy ice cream from.
Which is basically what they're singing about.
Yes. So it just reminded me of that city. Anytime you remind me of that city, I just automatically hate it. So.
Okay. But, so, end result, not the worst thing you've ever heard.
No, I thought it was going to be worse. I thought it was going to be more of the trumpets and...
You're going to find out that ska is actually really good, is what's going to happen one week.
I don't think so, but...
You're going to be surprised.
Yes.
I have the feeling. Especially when we get into... Because I will pick stuff with good lyrics.
Yes.
One of their songs is a creature from the planet Uranus, but it is just completely making all the butt jokes you could possibly make.
Gotcha.
So I could find songs that you would hate, but I'm trying to play the middle ground. Like I don't want to lean too hard into making it awful, but I don't want to cherry pick the best, so to say. So I'm going to try to be middle of the road on this stuff.
So what is this band's name?
Sloppy Seconds.
So now I'm not a music listener anyway, but if I'm going to choose, I would choose the Mighty Heroes to listen to.
Would be
So
the break of someone's song.
that is Saul's top pick for this
out of
band.
these three.
The Mighty
All right.
Heroes.
Well,
yes.
I'm pleased that you didn't totally despise it, in a sense.
Start like
It might have been more entertaining if you just hated it.
Start throwing stuff at the microphone.
I have a band that I think you will despise because it will be the ear cancer almost.
Yeah.
But
You know who I really hated? And people loved them. They're the ones that sings Chop Suey.
Chop Suey.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Here, pause it, and we'll come right back.
And we're back.
Yes.
Yeah, I do remember the song Chop Suey.
System of a Down is terrible. I will not listen to them at all.
They have stuff that I do kind of like.
Yeah.
I don't hate that song. It's not what I would prefer, but
Yeah.
I'm probably like... There's a place I worked where, on the occasion, we were able to listen to music.
Yeah.
There were people who were super into System of a Down for some reason, and they would play that, and I could handle it.
Yeah.
But it's never what I'm going to pick. But I'm not going to be able to have people listen to the Toasters, a ska band. So I'm just going to have to go with the flow.
Sure.
90% of the time.
Like Korn, I could somewhat handle them, somewhat.
What about Linkin Park? Because I thought I hated Linkin Park,
Yeah.
but it turns out that I actually don't.
Some songs I like theirs. I like their Transformers song, actually.
Yeah, that song's real good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll explore more music as we go,
Sure.
I think.
Why not?
And then something to talk about and something different.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll try to find songs that we both have, or bands we've never heard of.
Yes.
I think we actually are followed, and we follow the You Haven't Heard This Music podcast.
Yes.
Maybe we should start paying attention to that a little bit more.
Maybe we could do a
collaboration.
Yeah, with those guys.
But either way, so yeah, well, we'll figure out another band and we'll do it again.
Yeah, sure.
You got anything for video games this week? Because I really
actually, yeah.
All right.
I do a video game.
Try D-Static.
Not a lot, but a little bit.
Get over here! Time's up. Let's do this.
So, in video games,
Yes.
so I've got Conan Exiles. I got us a little base. Whenever you finally decide to start playing or whatever. So
I have had this strange desire to mine ore in a game and make stuff.
Yeah.
So it's coming. It's getting there.
So apparently, I'm having a little bit of a land battle with a neighbor, I guess. So I'm on a PvE server where
Right.
you can't destroy any of my guys or anything like that. So what this guy is doing, he is getting some of the monsters and bringing them over. He brought them over to our area.
Okay.
And all of our guys started attacking it. And this is a boss monster. It killed everybody.
So he kited them over.
He kited them over, killed everything.
I assume you did the same in kind?
Yes, I did.
Okay. That's how it works.
Yes. So I have fortified our thing. So what it is, he wants our little area because I have water.
Yeah.
And Conan Exiles, when you put a building down, it keeps people from building in that area from a certain distance or whatever. Well, in like this little pool that I've got, there's another person on the other side. So the pool is pretty much vacant, I guess. So I guess he found this little strip where he actually can put like a little base at.
Yeah.
And so his little base is right there, and he's always there. And what he's done is he's actually piled up guys along the border of where our base is. And I'm like, are you really trying to like punk me out here? So I'm actually going to have this.
Do you know how petty I am?
Oh, yeah, exactly. I was like, oh.
You're going to learn today.
I was like, oh, we can play this game. So.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
That is what makes me a PvE battle of
So-
irritating someone.
So I've, for the past, I'm going to say about 2 weeks now, I've been having this battle with this guy. This is being complete. And the thing is, it says AOP Podcast because I changed it. So people know that it's us. So this guy is listening. Oh, that's right, buddy. I can be as petty as you can. So that's what I've been doing in Conan Exiles. And Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
I don't like the new Battlegrounds.
The dragons?
I am not as good as I once was.
I'm doing okay, but
Yeah.
I've had some really broken stuff happen for me.
Okay.
I've had Van Cleef.
Okay.
Way more than I should. Like, I think it's broken because I've been able to pick Van Cleef in every game that I've played. You know who's real good?
Yeah.
Van Cleef. Because you get some of those dragons that are low level, but you stack them up.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they're a lot better. And then I constantly find the hangry dragon.
Okay.
Like where if you win the round, and because I'm Van Cleef, I've established a pretty strong... so it's pretty easy to get that thing rolling. And then I always find the dragon that when it dies, it gives all your dragons the divine shield.
I never find that.
Yeah, I've had ridiculous luck. So I'm sitting at 5,500 right now. So I'm making the climb to 6.
Okay.
Is my next goal.
So
I think by the time I hit 6, though, that'll be the equivalent of early on 5.
Yeah.
So it's really not that impressive, but it's still a bigger number.
So the
number go up.
Sure. So the hero I keep getting a lot of, and it's the dumbest hero, is Medivh. What is up with making the thing to make the hero your cards golden? What's up with that?
You mean Reno?
Reno, yeah, it's Reno. What is up? I'm like, so I thought
because it turns it into the 3 stack version. Is the golden version?
Oh,
so
does he?
Yeah. If you have the Soul Juggler, so if you get you're horrible at Battlegrounds as far as like knowing what's going on. It's fantastic.
Oh, so I was reading it. I was
you
like,
only get it one time per game.
Gotcha. I was reading it. I was like, well, who in the world would want their things being
when
golden?
it says golden, it's talking about the stacked version.
Oh,
so you can take.
So I have not been using that at all.
Someone is furious right now. Like I can't believe. So if you get because this is what I've seen and. It further infuriates me.
Yeah.
The Soul Juggler early. Oh look, you got a golden Soul Juggler straight away. I hope that you get disconnected.
Well, they have got rid of some of the demons though.
Soul Juggler is still in the game. I don't want it there.
Sure.
Or I want it tier 7, so you can't get it.
So I just learned something that I'm like, this is Reno is stupid. Who wants this?
Well, I was like, when I saw it initially, I was like, I assumed that it means the stacked version, and then I was listening to the Angry Chicken podcast.
Yeah,
they're talking about it, and I was like, okay, that is what it does.
Maybe I
kind of assumed.
Maybe I should listen to a Hearthstone podcast so I know what's going on.
Angry Chicken's good. You got Garrett, you got Joss.
Yeah,
I mean it's a 2-person show nowadays. So
okay, maybe I'll check it out eventually.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about Battlegrounds pretty often.
Yeah.
I don't have the time a lot of times to listen to the whole episode.
Yeah.
But I'll listen to it. I've been more into the Battlegrounds part. They kind of separate the show now.
Gotcha.
But if you're not like super into Hearthstone, it's still a really good podcast.
Gotcha.
Like, you know, like if you're super into WoW, like the podcasts don't really tell you anything a lot of times.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing. Like if you're someone who's getting Legend all the time and you're 7,000 or 8,000 Battleground MMR, you're probably not going to get a lot out of listening to the podcast, and you just like to hear people discuss it.
Gotcha.
But again, if you're like a high level person and you're listening, because I had this all the time back when Rift first launched, I was like rating at a pretty high level. So I'd listen to the podcast of super casual people playing it, and it drove me insane. Because I was like, that's not how you do it.
Gotcha.
You're like, you're playing the game for fun. What is wrong with you people? Like, that's really what it... Like, looking back, that's what the mentality is. But,
Gotcha.
All right.
Well, so the pay-per-views get ready to start. So we're going to end this podcast, I guess.
Yes.
The podcast. Good grief.
Goose noise.
Goose Noise podcast. You guys have a great week.
My static electricity has reset it.
There, I did a goose noise.
It's going to be the bumper in the future.
Well, that was something.
Well, I really wish I would stop shocking.
It's your X-Men power, man.
It's going to be awesome. If I can get like a hoverboard and fly around on it.
Yep. Yeah, I saw the Disney store. The Disney Marvel characters. X-Men.
Yes, I've seen some of them.